Hey, what's good, bro? I'm gonna try my best to give you an idea of what I use color wise to kind of get those skin tones. So I got a little palette I have set up right here, the colors I use for the most part. So basically, I start with like either a crimson, a brilliant red, deep yellow, and blue. And then I actually have some other colors up here, which is a light portrait pink, burnt umber, burnt sienna, raw umber, Naples yellow. And this one right here, the unbleached titanium, is what I use for highlights instead of white. Some of them come like in a warm or a cool kind of color, but it definitely is better than using like a stark white. So we mix it up and I'll show you what. All right, bro. So most of the time I usually either start with like a crimson, like I said, or a brilliant red. So I'm just gonna mix it up over here. A little bit of the brilliant red too. Take the yellow, deep yellow. Depending upon how much you put in there, you'll start to get like a orange color to it, kind of orange. So you can kind of see it's getting that like orange, that fire orange color. Then take a very little bit of this blue, like a little bit, just kind of gradually add it in, like a very little bit. It'll start to change. It'll get this good like green hue almost, but then you can kind of mix in more red and then more yellow to kind of even it out. The blue will really change it a lot, so you don't want to put a lot of blue in there. But because you know, like our people have different skin tones, we got undertones and stuff like that, so it's kind of a good base to start. So that's kind of how I do that. So right now, what I have here looks kind of green to me. It might not look the same on your screen, but it looks kind of green to me in person. So I'm gonna add a little bit more yellow to warm it up. It's like a trial and error situation, man. So you just kind of add the colors that you need to kind of lighten it up a little bit to whatever tone you're trying to go for. And you'll mix it till you kind of get there. Add some more red too. And that's just like a base, right? So if you make enough of that, I'm using acrylic paint by the way too. So if you use enough, make enough of that, you'll start to get enough to kind of cover that warm brown skin tone, bro. So I've been mixing it for a little bit, and I had to add a little bit more blue, and some red. But you can kind of like match it up with whatever the background you're looking for, or like the skin tone that you're looking for, and you can go from there. But I will say this: if you're still not getting this amount of warmth or coolness that you want, you can add those other like the burnt umber or the burnt sienna as well. And if you really, really, really want something dark, you can probably use a little bit of raw umber, but that's kind of hard to recover from. So I would probably use that as a little bit more sparingly. And if you want to lighten it up too, a little bit more, if you're not getting that yellow kind of tint that you want, you can always add the Naples yellow. So it'll start to lighten it up. You'll get a lighter brown. And then if you know somebody that you're painting or a person that you're painting has like like a rosy undertone to their skin, or even if it's not their natural skin, but if it's in the picture, you can actually use some of that light pink. It'll take a little bit to develop the color, and you can keep it trying it. I mean, till you get there. So that's kind of how I come up with the skin tones. Hold on for one second. I'll show you the shadows too. All right, bro. So I'm gonna show you the shadows too. Like I said, you can use the raw umber for like the darker tones. So like I said, it's kind of hard to recover from sometimes, and sometimes it's not as dark as you want it to be either. So what I have done as of late, trick I used instead of using like black for shadows, is just use the burnt umber. Take some of the blue, mix it up. So it gives you a little bit of a blue tint, but depending upon where you're going to put it at, it actually can give you that shadow that you need. So like if you're putting it on top of already like brown skin, instead of making it black, you can use that mixture right there, which is, like I said, is the burnt umber and then the blue. It gives you a good shadow and it still has some warmth. So as opposed to being like that really, really dark jet black, which again, you kind of can't recover from. Now, some stuff is just going to be, needs to be just jet black, but this gives you like that good tone for shadows, like under the chin, sometimes eyebrows, sometimes hairlines, until you, well, the top of the hairline, until you get deeper into the hair where it can just be jet black. But stuff around close to the face, you kind of want to do, I guess, like a darker brown, which is not giving you the same thing as a raw umber. See, the difference is like a lot darker. But that's just a mixture of the blue and the burnt umber. Yeah, bro. So one more thing about the unbleached titanium, man. I actually got onto this maybe like a year ago because I was using that white to kind of do highlights. And I found this. I don't know how I stumbled across it, but it actually kind of changed a lot of what I did for highlighting. So, I mean, highlighting on the skin. So like up in, like, for example, in this painting in the background, Kelly, I did use white for the head wrap and then, a little bit of white for like the teeth. But for the highlights in the skin, I used the unbleached titanium because it's kind of warm. And it actually gives like I guess like almost like a glow to like parts of the nose or like parts of the lips and stuff like that. So it definitely is a good find. Buy as much of that as you can, honestly. Like I said, again, I'm using acrylic paint. I'm using Artist Loft, Micro Stuff, and what's the other one? Geez, can't think of the top of my head. Liquitex, yeah. But yeah, these are the colors I use, bro. So again, like I said, crimson, or you can actually, there's a crimson and a deep red. Then you have your brilliant red, your deep yellow, your blue, your Naples yellow. Definitely that titanium that you want to use, the unbleached titanium, your light pink, your burnt umber, burnt sienna, your raw umber. So those are the tones you can kind of get. It's probably kind of hard to see on the video, man, because I have this flash on it too. But there's like 3 different tones of brown here. Well, actually maybe 4, because this one right here is like a tone that you could use as well. This depends on the picture. But then you can use that black, kind of black, for your shadows, or your raw umber. That's kind of good for like eyelashes, or like eyeliner and stuff like that, because it might not be jet black. And go from there, man. So wish you luck, man. Let me know.